Language is my playground, and neurodivergence is my lens. I am Hiba Bayat, the neurodivergent linguist, coach, and supervisor. Around here, we explore words, worlds, and wiring with curiosity, compassion, and the occasional tangent. Because growth is messy, meaning is layered, and shift really does happen. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode, Scent and Sense, How Smell Awakens Memory in the Neurodivergent Mind. Lately I've found myself drawn back to familiar scents. Not to buy something new, but to reconnect with smells that once shaped moments in my life. It began almost quietly, a passing trace of something that felt known, something that seemed to carry memory within it. And suddenly I was somewhere else, in another room, in another chapter, feeling emotions I had not consciously revisited for years. As someone who is AuDHD, and whose memory can sometimes feel scattered across too many open tabs, this experience felt surprisingly vivid. It made me wonder what's happening in the brain when a smell unlocks memory so quickly, and why this can feel especially powerful for neurodivergent minds. You see, smell is a unique sense. When we see or hear something, the brain processes that information through several stages before attaching emotional meaning to it. Smell works differently. The olfactory system has direct connections to areas of the brain involved in emotion and memory, including the amygdala and the hippocampus. This means that when we encounter a familiar scent, we don't simply remember cognitively. We often relive the experience in a more embodied way. The memory can feel immediate, it can feel physical, emotionally charged. This is sometimes called the Proust effect, where scent triggers vivid autobiographical recall. For many neurodivergent people, sensory experiences are closely linked with emotional processing, memory, and nervous system regulation. Attention is often guided strongly by novelty, meaning, emotional relevance, and sensory input, rather than routine structure alone. Because of this, sensory experiences such as smell can have a heightened emotional and cognitive impact. Some ADHDers and autistic people experience sensory hypersensitivity. Strong perfumes, cleaning products, or lingering food smells can feel overwhelming or distracting. Others may experience hypersensitivity, barely noticing scents that others find intense. And for many people, sensory responsiveness fluctuates depending on stress levels, fatigue, hormonal changes, emotional state, burnout, or overall nervous system load. For some autistic and AuDHD individuals, sensory experiences may feel especially vivid, layered, or emotionally immersive. A scent may not simply be noticed, it may be felt. What is particularly interesting is that scent can function as both a trigger and a regulator. A trigger when a smell evokes sensory overload or unexpected emotional memories, and a regulator when a familiar scent creates grounding, safety, comfort, or focus. Some people intentionally use scent as part of self-regulation. For example, lighting a specific candle while working, using calming essential oils before sleep, associating certain smells with routines, environments, or emotional states. Others may find that scent opens emotional doors they didn't even realize were still present. This isn't about preference or control. It reflects how sensory processing, emotional memory, and nervous system regulation all interact. For many neurodivergent minds, sensory experience is rarely neutral. It can either anchor attention or amplify internal noise. Personally, I've noticed that reconnecting with certain senses is not only about remembering events. It's about reconnecting with emotional versions of myself. Joy, comfort, loss, longing. In that sense, smell can feel like a form of time travel. ADHD is often described through forgetfulness, losing items, missing appointments, or zoning out mid-conversation. But perhaps neurodivergent memory is not absent. Perhaps it's organized differently. Not always in neat, linear narrative form, but sorted in sensations, textures, sounds, color, movement, and scent. The mind may forget details, but the senses often remember meaning. This can feel grounding, especially for people who experience time blindness or fragmented memory, where past and future can sometimes feel less tangible than the present moment. Scent can bridge that gap, linking past experiences with present awareness. There is comfort in this connection, but there can also be vulnerability. Strong sensory cues can activate powerful emotional responses. For individuals prone to sensory overload, a scent that once felt soothing may suddenly feel intolerable. Both reactions are valid. It's okay to step away, to open a window, to choose gentler sensory environments, to prioritize nervous system safety. Our sensory world is deeply connected to our emotional world, and both deserve care. In my professional life as a linguist, interpreter and translator, I rely heavily on words, on listening, on meaning. Yet scent reminds me that communication is not always verbal. Sometimes the body carries stories long before language is able to express them. This feels particularly resonant for neurodivergent experience. Living through impressions, moments, fragments, and gradually making sense of them over time. Perhaps there's a scent that holds meaning for you. The smell of rain on warm pavement, sea air on a cold morning, something cooking that reminds you of home, or even a scent connected to more complex memories. Whatever it is, notice how your body responds. Our brains may not store every detail in tidy order, but they often remember what matters emotionally. And sometimes, one familiar scent is enough to reconnect us with parts of ourselves we thought had faded. Thank you for listening. You have been listening to the Neurodivergent Linguist, where words, worlds, and wiring meet. I am Hiba Bayat, the Neurodivergent Linguist, Coach, and Supervisor. I hope this episode left you a little more curious, a little more kind to your brain, and a lot more you. Until next time, keep noticing, keep learning, and remember, shift really does happen.